Hi, hello, and welcome to the show. Good to have you with us for Commentator Smith's comments. Blame it on load shedding. That's the reason for my absence, but I'm back. I'm back to share with you a bit of news, some views, and of course, occasional jockey interviews. But that will once again become a regular feature as we head into the season. Speaking of which, this coming Saturday, we've got our first feature race day down here in Cape Town, and I'm pretty much going to share with you my thoughts, sentiments, and reasoning behind some of the horses that I've picked out for big runs, and also which others I'll be including in the exotic play on the day as we head into the weekend's racing action. I trust you've got your Tab 4 Racing account topped up, because at your fingertips, I always say it's the quickest, easiest, and most convenient way to get a flutter on wherever you might be. But this is all about racing, and it's of course in full bloom down here in Cape Town as we now reach the midpoint of the Hollywoodbets Spring Country Series. Not only have we seen the field sizes increase, but we've also seen some big and more familiar names stepping out onto the track as they have their seasonal debuts. And apart from that, there's also a whole host of activities that's been planned for Hollywoodbets Durbanville on Saturday as we celebrate Heritage Day, but more about that a little bit later on. 8 races have been carded for this coming Saturday at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, headed up by the Hollywoodbets Settlers Trophy listed to be run over 2,000 meters. And the first of those 8 races gets underway at 1 p.m. The running of the Hollywoodbets Durbanville Welcomes You Maiden Plate, a race for fillies and mares over 1,250 meters. The first horse that I've earmarked that I'll be keeping an eye on comes up in the first race, and it happens to be number 1 Hunting Trip. Now, she's been close up in her last 2 starts. That last form line of hers has been franked. She's having her 3rd career start, and with a natural improvement still to come, I think she's going to take a power of beating and take the lion's share of the prize money and get us all off to a winning start. She should prove way too good for the opposition as she jumps from pole position, and I make her a banker in the first leg of the bipot. Race 2 is the Capel Fillies Merit Rated 85 handicap, run over 1,400 meters, and this will be the first leg of the place accumulator. Now, even though it's a small field of just 8, I think it's rather competitive, and I've narrowed it down to possibly one of 3 who could win it. I'm going to include the likes of 2 Treasure Hunt. Now, she ran in much stronger company last time out, and she also renews rivalry with both 6 Fusillade and 7 Fleeting, and I reckon she should have the beating of both of them. She jumps from stall gate 2, she enjoys being up with the pace, and if she's allowed to get away, she might just be hard to peg back. Also, number 4 is Greenlight. She represents that hot in-form combination of Brett Crawford and Louis Mkotwa. She had a good comeback run when she finished a close-up 3rd over 1,000 meters. She would have come on with the benefit of that run. She's also stepping up in trip, and I think she'll be doing her best work late. And then I'm also going to include number 5, Perfect Trust. Now, she was reported to have not enjoyed the going last time out, and if one looks at her form line, she certainly is better than that last start suggests. If one looks at her form very closely, you'll see that she's won and she's finished 2nd in 2 starts over the course and distance. And with Richard Ferree on board, I think she certainly needs to be taken into account. So all of 2, 4, and 5 in race 2. Now we move on to the pick 6, which is race 3, the Hollywoodbets Spring Country Series Maiden Plate, to be run over 1,250 meters. Now this is where I found the 2nd horse that I'm going to be keeping a very watchful eye on, and I reckon it's probably going to be a banker for many people on the day. I'm talking about number 7, Oz and Kier. He's the highest rated horse in the race. He has shown improvement with each and every start. He's getting closer with each and every run. He's having his 3rd run after rest, so he should be cherry ripe for the occasion. And again, Richard Ferree on board, he should take a power of beating. In fact, Richard Ferree is probably the jockey that I'm leaning towards most, because he does have a very good book of rides, and he may just be well worth following on the day. The flip side is, if you don't banker Oz and Kier, then it becomes very wide open. So I think we can know our fate early. I'm going to banker because it's all about structuring the pick 6 anyway. Race 4 is the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge Maiden Special Weights over 2,000 meters. Now here we need to play with a bit of cover. This certainly isn't an easy race to get through. 5 Global Forest has been a model of consistency. Those front-running tactics nearly paid off, and I reckon that he's definitely one that needs to go into the equation. He's been second in his last 3 starts, and I think he could be rewarded for consistency. 2 Guy Alexander definitely has a jockey strike. Now with Simonga Kamala on board, he had a decent run last time out when he finished second. He did encounter traffic problems at the start, so that certainly was a run full of merit. He's having his 3rd run after rest, so he needs to be included. 3 Global Avenue, she's giving weight all round, but she's coming back from a bit of a rest, and that form line, her last form line has been franked multiple times. So if she's not in need of the run, I think she will be in the shake-up. And then there's 7 Quasimodo, always there or thereabout, especially if you look at his last 3 runs. Again, Richard Fourie, the jockey on board, and I think he could get closer to the action. So play with a bit of cover when you look at race 4 on the card. Doesn't get any easier as we move on to race 5, another tricky race to contend with. Cape Racing thanks Stan Ellie Filly's merit rate at 80 handicap over 1,000 meters. It would be remiss of me not to mention Stan Ellie. He's been part of the Cape Racing scene for the past 50 years. And I'd like to wish Stan well with his future endeavors. Having said that, race 5, as I mentioned, pretty tricky. We need a couple, again, to get us through. 2 Different Face, a model of consistency, has been costly to follow, but I think could just be the one to get into the winner's enclosure and make amends. 7 Pork de Vos is a kilo and a half better off with Different Face, and that brings Pork de Vos into the equation. And again, Richard Fourie is the jockey that I have to mention. 5 Mar Black, disappointed last time out, but I think didn't enjoy the soft underfoot condition. She returns from a break, and she could, well, run fresh. And then there's 4 Cityscape, an easy maiden winner last time out, and certainly looks to be a horse that's on the up and will be up there with a pace from the word go, so definitely needs to be included. So all in all, add in as many as the budget allows in race 5. Race 6, the www.hollywoodbets.net middle stakes over 1,600 meters. Now, I'm approaching this race one of 2 ways. I'm either going to banker, or I'm going to take the banker and the horse that I think is the danger. To me, 8 Van Hunks, who was just pipped in his last start, certainly looks like the right horse in this race. If one looks at his course and distance record, he's run twice for a 2nd and a 3rd. He's having his 3rd run after a rest and gelding. He should be at peak fitness, and with just 54 kilograms, and again, Richard Fourie gets a mention on board, I think he rates the one to beat. To me, his biggest danger is number 9, Chavoot, who was runner-up behind Galactic Path. And Galactic Path, as we know, subsequently came out and won again last week at Durbanville. Only thing that counts against Chavoot, it's his 1st run at Durbanville. But if he takes to the course and he is suited to the conditions, I think he is the danger. So it's either a case of banker 8 or go 8 and 9 as far as the exotics are concerned. Race 7 is our feature race on the program. It's the Hollywoodbets Settlers Trophy listed to be run over 2,000 meters. Justin Snaith has a very strong hand here. He saddles 4 of the 10 runners, and the Hollywoodbets Settlers Trophy is normally a good pointer to some of the long-distance races that will be coming up later in the season, like the Kenilworth Cup, the Chairman's Cup, and also the Cape Summerstayers Handicap. This is also another one of those tricky races where we need a few to get us through. If one looks at the Justin Snaith horses, 2 Somerset Morn does appear to be the stable elect because of the riding arrangements, and Somerset Morn is 3 kilos better off with his stable companion, number 10 Top Quality, so that should be enough to turn the tables. To me, the value could be number 6 Baratheon. Now, to me, this horse represents value. The stable's in form. He was narrowly beaten in his last start, and he's also a kilo better off at the weights on his penultimate run with number 10 Top Quality. And then we probably can't ignore number 10 Han Solo, who has finished 2nd in his last 3 starts. The blinkers are off. He goes 2,000 meters for the first time, and if he stays, I reckon he could get into the money. So those are the horses that I'm primarily leaning towards as far as our feature race on the card is concerned. Then on to the lucky last, race 8, the Hollywoodbets Bright Future Graduation Plate for 3-year-olds over 1,250 meters. Just looking at the depth and the quality of this field, this could easily have been a minor feature, and horses are obviously stepping out with bigger fish to fry as far as the classics are concerned. But what a way to end the day. Candice Bass Robinson, as far as I'm concerned, probably holds the aces. she's got two lively contenders. There's one, Charles Dickens, who won the Somerset Plate last time out. And I think if one remembers that race, then it was a case of action speaks louder than words, knowing full well how the jockey rates his chances. He can remain unbeaten. He jumps from pole position, and he's got a devastating turn of foot, so he'll be doing his best work late at the end. His stablemate, number 4, Narina Tragon. Now, this horse is bred in the purple, and despite being slow away on debut, certainly finished off very well, and it was extremely impressive to see the way that Narina Tragon came through to win that race. I think he will enjoy the step up in trip, and is another one that will go into the race unbeaten. Speaking of unbeaten runners, there's number 6, Dave the King as well, that comes into the reckoning. 2 from 2, and I remember Gary Player at the Equius Awards telling me, can't wait for you to call Dave the King when he steps out in Cape Town. He's got Samanga Kamala on board, and he's another one with a winning chance. And then we also can't ignore number 8, We're Jamming. He's having his first run since gelding. He's proven that he's way above average. In fact, of his 6 runs, he's had 2 wins, and he hasn't finished further back than second in the other 4 starts. And his last form line has also been frank, so he comes into the equation as well. All in all, it is a mouth-watering contest, and what a thrilling way to round off the day at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Many will say that the last race on the card is the race of the day. If you have nothing planned, I would suggest you come and join us out at the country course. It promises to be a fun-filled day for the whole family. There's a designated kids play area, a potjie course competition, food trucks, beer garden, big screen to watch the rugby, and of course top quality racing action that you can look forward to. And to put it in a nutshell, it's your one-stop shop to come and enjoy Heritage Day. Thanks for joining me. Trust it will be an enjoyable and profitable day's racing. I'm Ravon Smith. Look forward to seeing you at the races.